Big Jones, the Juggernaut. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unleashed. I hope everyone out there is enjoying the podcast. So today, I haven't talked a whole lot about military stuff in a while. I kind of drifted away, kind of started doing some other stuff, some personal life stuff, and I'm going to circle back to that. But tonight, it's a little bit special. I want to go back to talking about some Navy stuff. So let's just jump right into it. Today in the gym, I've been working out here at Naval Medical Center San Diego. Today at the gym, I bumped into an old friend, which is always great, usually. I bumped into an old friend at the gym today who I actually went to Field Med with. I'll leave a link in the description for my video about Field Med. But, he's doing deadlifts. I'm on the other platform doing barbell rows. And he actually approached me. He was like, "Dad, be like I know you from somewhere." I was thinking the same thing. That's how it always happens. Guys, we're like the worst friends in the world because we don't remember people's names. We don't remember how we know somebody. I just know I know that face because I wanted to punch it at some point. That's just how guys are. We're just, we're guys. We can't be bothered with the details. So, he knew me, I knew him, and eventually we kind of got, "Oh yeah, Field Med, yeah, you're a big dude. Oh yeah, you're a big dude. Oh wow, you're even bigger now." We're doing the male bonding. That's how men do it. So, we're talking, and he's ranked up. I've ranked up since we last saw each other, and we're kind of catching up. "Hey, remember this guy? Remember that guy? Yeah, they're doing good." Or "I saw him, and he made chief. He made first class." We're kind of just going down the list, and and it made me think because he's an IDC now, which is exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to either be an IDC or go nurse corps because I hate to, no offense to the IDCs out there, but the IDCs are struggling big time. And I know, I knew if I applied to be an IDC, I knew I could probably get it on the first try because I got a great record. I'm a great candidate for it. I'm dedicated. I know I would be an IDC if I put my chit in for it. But I wanted to be a nurse because obviously nurses have better longevity than IDCs, at least on paper, because, you have to have a degree and you'll already have your RN license and all that stuff. So that was my plan. But IDCs have this huge carrot they're dangling in front of them right now. I think it's like $90,000 just to sign up. Well, not just to sign up, but if you pass IDC school, I think with a certain percentage, it's like they give you like $90,000 plus you get rank if you get a certain percentage. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure, but the last time I checked, it was what we call a STAR program, where if you make a certain grade, you automatically get the next rank up. I think it caps out at E6 though. I don't think they'll make you a chief if you get a certain grade in IDC school, but anyway. And for those of you who don't know, those of you watching me in the military, IDC stands for Independent Duty Corpsmen. Independent Duty Corpsmen are basically providers for the enlisted side. Now, if you don't know what a provider is, the way I look at it, is basically someone who can prescribe their own medications, because there's a lot of healthcare workers out there. There's a lot of tiers of healthcare workers, and only a few can actually sign off on giving a patient medication. So obviously that takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of training. So that's where I wanted to go. A lot of IDCs go on to be nurse practitioners and physician assistants. And this buddy of mine that I met today, he's looking to be a PA, physician assistant. So kudos to him. If you're watching right now, but by the way, keep it up. I want to see you out there doing great things. It was good to see you today. And it got me to thinking, because he told me that one of the instructors that we went to Field Med with had just recently made chief. Now, when we were in class with this instructor, he was a first class when he made chief just recently. And this is 10 years ago, 10 plus, 10 years ago. And it took him 10 years to make chief. And this was one of the better instructors that we had, man. And it's just really, it's really sad that, it's such great people out there. The guys out there doing, instructor duty, which sounds awesome, but it's a lot of work. It's something that, You kind of go into knowing it's going to be a lot of babysitting, a lot of hassle and bullshit, but it's something that you do if you're, especially if you're passionate about what you do. And, same thing with my boss. Well, I guess ex-boss now. He's kind of on his way out. I haven't really seen him much, but, he just made chief at I think he was at 18 years. And this guy was, special forces and all these wonderful things. And he comes down here and he's, a great advocate for us, and it took him forever to make chief. I mean, why can't we get these people the rank they deserve? I mean, man, this military structure, especially amongst corpsmen, I'm only talking about the corpsmen now because I've only ever been a corpsman. They really, really need to go back and make some changes and really start looking a little bit closer at the individuals. Because I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of untapped potential in the military that just ends up going by the wayside because they get burned out. They get really, really frustrated. I'm working with a bunch of people here that are just like that. A lot of people who come in, guns blazing. We all know that guy. We call them motards. It's kind of a term of endearment. Motivated retard. We call them motards. Because they're just really gung ho and they're really anxious to do a good job. Yeah, I was like that. I got in with my eyes wide open. I knew I wanted to do 20 years, retire, get a pension, and do all these wonderful things. I was like, yeah, man, I got my sea bag. We'll travel. Send me with the Marines. Send me with the SEAL platoon. Send me send me to jump school. Send me to sniper school. I don't care. Do whatever. I'll do whatever. I just want to be a part of that team and show how good I am. A lot of these guys are like that, and a lot of these guys never realize their full potential because they get burned out. Because they're putting in 110% and they're putting the people next to them who aren't doing half the work, they give them the rank. They end up making rank. I mean, with corpsmen, it is so hard to make rank. It is so difficult. It took me 8 years to make second class, and that's, other ratings, that's nothing. I've got, it never ceased to amaze me, these IT guys, man. These IT guys make rank like that. I'm in here, I'm about to be 40, like I said, and I'm in here with a guy, I'm a second class, I'm in here with a guy who's in IT, been in for 4 years, and he's a second class. I think it was less than that, it was like 3. But they guys make rank, but there's so many corpsmen in the Navy. It's such an overpopulated rating that it's really hard to make rank. So what they do is, or what they should do, in my opinion, is look harder at the individual. What is this person actually doing? Is this person, does he show up on time? Does he get the job done? Does he train others? I mean, everybody kind of falls into that category because there's no cop on the beat. I know for me and my commands, there is no cop on the beat. There's nobody that comes in and really looks and says, hey, is this guy really working or is he screwing around? And people will get burned out like that. You lose a lot of really good people like that. And the Navy really needs to try to mitigate that. But, who wants to do that? Who wants to sit there and babysit when, you could, especially if you're a chief and you're out there, with your chief's mess doing whatever they do. I mean, my wife asked me this stuff. All the time. She said, what does your LPO actually do? I don't know, babe. I see him at muster, and then around 9, 10 o'clock, I don't see him again for the rest of the day sometimes. I was like, well, what does he do? I don't know. I could not tell you, baby. I'm not holding anything back. I have no idea what this guy does. I see him at muster. He might be in his office. We have muster at 7 a.m. He might be in his office for a couple hours, but then, 9, 10 o'clock, I don't really see him. He said, oh, I got this thing I got to go do. But then I never see him after that. I mean, I'm sure there's something they're doing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're the LPO, especially in these big commands where there's a lot of chiefs and officers running around, I'm sure you've got a lot of people to answer to. But can't we look into the nooks and crannies? That's what I call it, the nooks and crannies. Take a look at the people who are opening the clinics on time. Take a look at the people who are staying all night and making sure stuff gets done. Take a look at the HNs that people give, these lower ranking enlisted people that people give the shit jobs to. Shouldn't we be trying to build them up, especially if they're doing these jobs that nobody wants? I mean, you think that as an E3, I wanted to be sitting in the middle of fucking China Lake till 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night verifying records? Hell no. I joined the Navy to get away from doing those stupid fucking jobs. Seriously, I walked out of an office building and said, fuck this and fuck this fucking job. I am going to join the Navy. I'd already been talking to a recruiter. I was kind of on the fence about it. And then one day pushed me over the edge. And I said, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore, man. I'm sitting there answering phones, pretending to be nice. And then I got some guy in my face telling me that, well, yeah, you sounded nice and you did a good job on the phone, but you didn't say this, which is part of the American Express business travel script. And you're sitting here busting my balls about it. Are you serious? I walked out of a decent paying job to join the Navy to do the exact same thing. Granted, for more money, but I didn't join the Navy to be I didn't have to go all the way to Guam to answer phones. You know, do people ever take this stuff into consideration when they're giving away rank? People just give away rank. We call it getting, it used to be called getting capped. Now it's called getting mapped. Meritorious award, promotion, I don't know. But basically it's you make rank without passing the test, you know, people based on your performance, you know, but it never seems to go to people who are deserving. I got people right now who pass out on this couch right over here. You can see it in the background. People on a duty weekend show up hungover and fall asleep on that couch right now. There's a person in here right now, not right now, but they're stationed here right now, that when I was on duty with her, she fell asleep, passed out, hungover on that couch right there, and she got mapped to second class, a rank that took me 8 years of grinding to make, and they just gave it to her, someone who was completely undeserving. Can't we look a little bit closer at some of this stuff and try to keep some of these people and this person will be gone. See, there is no way on God's green earth she's going to be a lifer unless she really, really changes her attitude. I mean, can't we take a closer look at these people? I mean, does it really, really matter how many car washes you go to or how many cupcakes you sell or how many extracurricular activities you do? What about the motherfuckers that are in here grinding every single day? Do you think I want to shoot an abdominal, pelvis, you know, complete head to toe x-ray on some lady with dementia? Do you think I want to roll some fat motherfucker on my x-ray table right now that weighs 700 pounds? No. But it's part of the job, and it's what I signed up for. And one day that might be me. One day that might be me with dementia. One day that might be me with a broken back. Do I want someone taking care of me or my loved ones that doesn't want to be there? It's all very confusing. You know, and I understand that the Navy is a business. So if I could take away anything from this experience is that the Navy is a business. Yes, they are a global force for good, and those commercials they make are really sexy with the Godsmack music playing in the background. You know, everybody wants to be a SEAL, everybody wants to be a sniper, special forces, all that stuff, and all that stuff is great. But they call those special forces guys the tip of the spear. The rest of the spear behind it is all of us in all the branches, not just the Navy, but there's a shitload of corpsmen out there that are capable of amazing things, and they will just get out because they're not getting what they deserve. I mean, you know, I don't know. You know, I never really have a script planned out when I make these videos, and I kind of went on a tangent there because I really wanted to talk about IDCs, but you know, IDCs catch this the worst. I mean, I really don't understand. I mean, IDCs, to be fair, have a really, really good rate of promotion. I went to an enlist ERC. I don't know, man. One of these enlisted. It's basically a class that you go to help you on the advancement exam, you know, and they'll usually have some chiefs and some first classes, you know, and they'll teach lessons and answer questions, and they'll help you on the advancement exam to help you pass. So there was a guy there who was an IDC. I believe he was a Master Chief IDC. And, you know, he was telling us, like, yeah, man, IDCs, we pick up rank fast. We always get the best evals, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I really hope that's the case because these IDCs get beaten into the dirt from what I've been told. Obviously, I don't know personally, but I know regular providers get beaten up pretty bad. They have to stay late, they have to come early, and IDCs are a special breed because, those are enlisted guys, and enlisted guys, even at the top, are pretty much expendable. So yeah, man, they'll drop those guys into wherever they got to go in whatever expeditionary unit or Marine unit or SEAL platoon or whatever. Those IDCs, they got to be able to think on their feet, man. Those guys got to be fucking sharp as a tack. Those guys got to manage, injuries, illnesses, medications, treatments. They got to take care of their whole platoon, man. It might just be one of them, especially those guys on ships, man. From what I was told by a friend of mine, they're getting rid of preventative med techs on ships. And for those of you who don't know, prev med techs are guys that make sure the water is drinkable, make sure everything is sanitary, stuff like that. They're getting rid of those guys. They're farming it out to the IDCs as if these guys don't have enough to do. If you're an IDC on a ship, especially a smaller ship, you may be the only medical person on your ship. 500 people, maybe more. And you're the only medical person on that ship. Can we not get these people the recognition they deserve? Seriously. I don't understand why any IDC, unless you're a shitbag, and I'm sure there are some out there, but if you're an IDC that's showing up on time, doing your job, and taking care of your business, why wouldn't you get promoted? Seriously. It's all very confusing. So when you hear something like that, when you hear a guy like the instructor my buddy and I had in common in field med, and you hear it took him 10 years to make chief, what does that tell you? Probably the best instructor there. Knew how to communicate the information, wasn't just out there trying to be a Billy Badass, was actually out there looking after his sailors. And it's unfortunate, but it seems to be the trend that people who really look after their people, especially the people below them, which is allegedly the people that you're supposed to look after for. It seems like those people get the shaft, while people who look up for the higher ups. And why the hell would you look up? Why the hell would you look after a higher up? Why would a second class be looking after a chief? We got a name for people like that. They're called snitches. And historically, that's how a lot of snitches, it seems, end up doing pretty good in the military. So, hey, if you're a shitbag sailor, if you're a snitch, you probably do pretty good, You look around, and, I could name a few right now. Maybe when I'm out, I'll throw some names out there, but you know who you are. So that's my ranting and raving for the night. How do you feel about it, man? Do you feel like these IDCs, do you feel like people who show up on time? Because that's what they tell us. They tell us that just showing up on time, doing your job, even showing up on time and doing your job well, isn't enough. You've got to do all these collateral duties, and you have to head up something. You have to champion something. I'm sure there's some value into it, but should that put you over somebody? If you're someone who shows up on time, does his job, does it well, and goes home, should you be less qualified to make rank than someone who shows up, does a half-ass job, but also goes to car washes and sells cupcakes? Is that fair? Is that even beneficial in the long run? Navy, you're supposed to be a business. I don't think the Shark Tank panel would approve of your methods.